Hey guys, Zen here, and welcome back. Year 7 is the year that will forever change the way you experience Rainbow Six Siege. Every single little detail has been addressed, and quite literally, no holes have been left unplugged. In this video, we're talking about the new defender, Azami, and her absolutely stunning Kiba gadget. We're also going to speak on the huge overhaul of Ranked that will spill in more rewards than you've ever been accustomed to, and new players rejoice because you're no longer being left to fend for yourself. The shooting range has been revealed, and in-game operator how-tos are being added so you can breach with the best of them. This video has 12 of the absolute must-know changes coming in Year 7, starting off with Season 1 and the release of Demon Veil. Let's get into this. First up, the return of the Year Pass. This year, you'll be able to pick up the Year 7 Pass that gives you a bunch of perks that last the entirety of the year, but unlike before, there are now 2 versions of it. Now, the standard Year Pass will include an instant unlock for all 4 of the new operators in Year 7 with 14-day early access once each new season goes live. So, if you get this, you will no longer need to buy into the Battle Pass for the new operator. There's also an exclusive Ash Chilled bundle and 4 Battle Pass tokens. Then there's the Year 7 Premium Pass. Again, all 4 operators are ready to go as soon as they're launched with early access, and you get the same Ash bundle and Battle Pass tokens. But added to this are the first 20 tiers of each Battle Pass unlocked right from the start, which means they're basically giving away 80 free tiers with this. And there's also the Valkyrie Bite bundle and an exotic weapon skin for the MPX. The standard pass is $40 and the premium is $60. And a lot of people have been asking for this to return because it's easy to buy in early, and just know that for the rest of the year, you're good to go on new content and battle passes. I honestly didn't ever think this would return because Ubisoft pushed hard for the battle pass model, but here we are. Well done. Next at number 2 is the new Bravo packs in the battle pass, and I'll keep this quick, but essentially the new Bravo packs will offer premium content and absolutely no duplicates. So gone are the days of constantly getting the same legendary skin over and over purely based on RNG. In theory, every Bravo pack you get should contain something brand new, which means there's always something to look forward to that you never previously had. Moving on to number 3, Year 7 begins with Demon Veil and introduces what is the next Mira tier operator on defense. Azami is the most meta-shifting, game-altering operator that Rainbow Six Siege may have ever seen, and that may sound overblown, but in all honesty, she changes everything, and she's actually so strong that there's already been a nerf even before she's live. The Kiba barrier is her gadget. It's essentially a kunai knife that, when thrown, releases a gas that then solidifies and becomes a bulletproof barrier. It can be thrown pretty much anywhere, including stacked on top of itself, and because of that, the use cases here are nearly endless. The biggest one, by far, is that there is now a powerful counter to vertical play. So, as Siege has gotten more popular, it's become more and more common to see destruction above or below you. Buck and Sledge knock out the ceiling, and gunfire and frag grenades begin to rain from the heavens, and it's one of the only kinds of gameplay that has never had a counter. With the Kiba barrier, you just throw it up and it seals those openings, making it difficult for vertical play to be viable. The other element that's massive here is that at her core, Azami is an architect. No site will ever be the same. That long hallway that's always had the same sight line, well, now there's a pair of barriers to block it off. That drone hole that's overly abused by the attackers, it can now be sealed off. Post-plant protection. The diffuser is planted and the attackers jump out a window and hold the angle, only for a Kiba to be thrown up, forcing them back inside. Mira changed the game because before her, reinforced walls meant you could never see what was on the other side. After her, every reinforced wall became an intel threat. Azami changes the game because she recreates each site and literally fills in the holes that were always weak spots on defense. For her loadout, she brings the VSN and the ACS-12 shotgun, the Deagle, barbed wire, and impacts, and so she's incredibly versatile and lethal. Now, since she can stack her barriers and create new walls, you've been able to get to some pretty cheeky spots utilizing her gadget, and so as a result, she's been nerfed. You can no longer step on the barrier. If you try, it'll crumble and be destroyed, and so there won't be any ridiculous heights you can get to or unfair spots to pick off the enemy. Now, as far as counters, any type of explosion will destroy the barrier, and also attackers can melee the barrier 3 times and take it down. But with no exaggeration, this may be the best defender currently in the game, even if it's only for a short time, because when she's picked, you'll always have to work around her. always. Next up, Emerald Plains. After 3 years of never getting a new map in Siege, in Demon Vale, we will finally get to play on a brand new map, and it's called Emerald Plains, and there are a few important notes about it. First off, it will not launch at the same time as Demon Vale. It'll come midway through the season, and it's being labeled as a competitive map, and so it should be added to ranked. Now, even though the region for Demon Vale is Japan, Emerald Plains actually takes place in Ireland. It's a country club, only befitting of the highest elites, and the aesthetic is high-end, but recognizable. Given it's been 3 years since a new map, one of the focuses they had here was in knowing where you are at all times. Now, that may sound odd, but whenever there's a new map with all new angles, rooms, and drone holes, it can be overwhelming to know where you are and what's around you. And from what's been shown off, each room looks very different from the rest and unique enough to differentiate from each other. For me, it looks like a bit of a mix between Villa and Coastline, two maps that play very differently from one another, but are medium-sized with an expansive exterior, and this one speaks to that. Next up in Demon Vale is the long-awaited Goyo rework. The Volcan shield is now gone, but the Volcan bomb stays, and they've buffed it up. So the gadget can be placed basically anywhere, and once it explodes, it creates a larger and longer-lasting wake of fire than in its previous state. It's a move to make Goyo more like Smoke in Tachanko, where he specializes in area denial, and because it can be placed anywhere, the attackers have to look out for it if they want to push forward. The next part of Demon Vale is that now all 1x sights will be on every operator in every gun, no matter what. The longer zooms will still be a balancing act, but because all 1x sights have the same magnification, it's more about personal preference, and so you can run that classic holographic or new red dot sight on any weapon you see fit. And then lastly for Demon Vale is attacker repick, and this is another feature that changes Rainbow Six Siege forever. During the prep phase, so basically as an attacker while you're droning, you'll be able to go back and repick your attacking operator. Based on what operators you see on defense, you can change your current pick for someone that makes more sense given the site and situation. If you notice there's no Bandit or Kaid, then there isn't really a reason to bring Thatcher or Kali. Or if you notice they forgot to reinforce main wall, then you can skip the Maverick and opt for Ashe or Zofia. Attack has always been about bringing the best jack-of-all-trades team comp because you just never know what strats you'll be up against, and so you had to always make sure that all bases were covered. But now that you can repick, there's more potential to be intentional and ultra-specific with your attacking strat, and I think it's just a massive change that will forever change how you think about attacking. Next up, the Year 7 roadmap, and there are some interesting updates coming. So for Season 1, we're headed back to Japan, and there will be the new competitive Emerald Plains map, Team Deathmatch, and Attacker Repick. We'll also see the usual new event in arcade modes, but they've added the privacy mode, improvements to griefing and disconnects, and console will get match replay. For Season 2, we're headed to Belgium, and this is also when the game will get the shooting range and operator tips to help new players better learn the ropes. But for the first time ever, we'll see a new map, but exclusively for Team Deathmatch, which means there won't be a new offering for Ranked. And this is also where the reputation system will enter Phase 1, with early friendly fire sanctions. In Season 3, we're getting an operator from Singapore, and another new competitive map. Then we'll see Ranked 2.0, which we'll speak on later in the video, and the reputation system will enter Phase 2, which will actually reveal your reputation score. Finally, in Season 4, there's a Colombian operator and a permanent arcade mode, and it's also when they'll finally release crossplay and cross progression, which means no matter what platform you're on, you can take your account with you and have a unified experience. Then the reputation system will enter Phase 3 with a rewards and sanction system based on your rep. Now, Rank 2.0 is a part of the Year 7 roadmap, and this is the overhaul to Ranked that's been in the works for years. So for a while, Ranked was in a beta state. It wasn't as fleshed out as it is today, but once they removed the beta tag, not too much changed. It's always been a constant fight with peers for MMR. But with Rank 2.0, everything is changing. Players will now all start at Copper and have to climb their way up. No more placements, which means the randomness, like maybe having great teammates for all 10 games places you in gold, but you're really a bronze. Or on the opposite end, you end up with teammates who aren't so skilled and you get chopped down to bronze and you're usually a plat. Starting at the bottom is the most fair way to level the playing field and force everyone to progress into their natural rank. You'll start to feel more challenging competition as you get closer to your true rank, and the rest of the season won't be determined by where you placed after the first 10 matches. Now, the gap between ranks will always be 100 points, which in comparison to how it is now, is much more consistent, and so you always know exactly how much MMR you need to progress. And then, most importantly, each rank offers a reward. Maybe it's a charm, or maybe an alpha pack, but it won't just be for a single charm at the end of the season. It also means that you'll get all of the charms you qualify for, and not just your best performing charm. Basically, if you reach Platinum, you'll get all the charms starting from Copper through to Platinum, and all of the rewards in between. Above everything, they've increased the incentive to continually play ranked, and it's also clear what you're working towards and how much you have to go to hit that next milestone. It's a major improvement to the most important playlist in Siege, and I think players will want to play more as a result. Next up, Thatcher is getting a rework. You guys know that Thatcher is the most banned attacker every single season since maybe Operator Ban was introduced. Like, he's just so utility heavy and there's almost no drawback. So in year 7, he'll be receiving a rework, and what they've shown is for the EMP needing to be cooked like Ying's Candela in order to see its full potential. Now, it isn't super clear if cooking it increases the radius of the EMP blast or if it adds more gadgets that it can actually disable, but I think it's an interesting way to balance a gadget that's so easy to use. But Thatcher's power also comes down to other operators not being able to stop him. In year 7, Bandit will be getting a huge buff that will make it almost impossible for Thatcher to just clear a wall. So Bandit will be able to place more than one battery on a wall, and you might ask, well, doesn't that just mean Thatcher can disable more batteries at once? And yes, if the Bandit is careless, that's exactly what that means. But Ubisoft is actually buffing the Bandit trick with this, because say Bandit has a single battery on a wall and Thatcher disables it. Bandit no longer needs to pick up that battery in order to protect the wall. He can just place his next battery on the same wall and prevent even the fastest of breachers from opening up. I think it's the change that Bandit has needed this entire time, and I think he'll become much more viable with this, as well as help from Azami to help seal off Maverick holes and drone holes while he's busy tricking. And then finally, the 12th update here are the learned areas. The shooting range has finally been shown off, and in-depth operator how-tos and tips are being added. This must have taken a very long time to create, because there are now over 50 operators in Siege, and you can assume that every one of them will have tips and best practices associated with them, and that requires some serious man hours and just pure knowledge so that the content is actually useful to the player. Ubisoft actually said it best. They don't want to shy away from the difficulty of ranked, but they need to show players why Siege is fun and prepare players for what to expect. This is essential, and I don't think it only benefits new players. If you're not on top of the Siege news and you just log in one day after a long break, you may not know about the last few operators that were added, and so it gives that player a place to learn in peace and get familiar with new content. My only concern here is that operators go through changes constantly, and so it's just as important to update these operator tips as it is to release patch notes, and so staying consistent here is essential. But yeah, they've also announced the shooting range has a year 7 season 2 release, and it's the place where you'll try out weapons, train your aim, and be in a non-lethal zone, so there's absolutely no pressure or other players involved. These two features will help immensely for new players just getting started, but also veteran and returning players alike, because you have a dedicated place to go before you queue up and compete. I think it makes Siege a more modern and approachable game, and I think it's great to finally see the evolution of the outdated situations and to help players navigate this incredibly complex experience. And so guys, this is the Rainbow Six Siege that's been asked for. There's still a lot more to discuss, but there's been an update on every angle of this game, and it feels like a hard stance from Ubisoft that Siege is here to stay. They understand that it's unique, challenging, and rewarding, and in year 7, they're elevating all of those aspects. Azami will undoubtedly change things and bring one of the most meta-defining and unique gadgets ever conceived. They're not shying away from the challenge of Siege, but instead adding tools to help lean into it. And the gameplay has always been incredibly rewarding, and so now as you play, there will always be that next incentive to help keep you involved. The only thing that raises my eyebrow is if they'll actually deliver all of this stuff in the year. Some stuff was planned for year 6 but got pushed, like the Goyo rework. And so best case scenario is that doesn't happen here, and all of this stuff lands this year. If it does, then I firmly believe that this is Siege's most productive year and will be the year that enables an exciting future. But that's the video, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for all the year 7 content that's being released. Thanks for watching. Hey, I'm out.